Hey, Paul here from RoarTech Educational. Welcome back to another one of our EdTech videos. This week, we're looking at how and why we're using AI tools to create some digital quizzes for our pupils in the classroom. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of our content in the future. Let's dive into today's session. Enjoy.
Welcome everyone to another EdTech video with us, RoarTech Educational. This week we're recording this one on a Tech Tuesday. Before we get going, just a reminder that on the screen you'll see a QR code. So if you pause the video, grab your phone, open your camera app and scan that QR code, you'll get access to all of our links for all of our social media accounts. So do give us a follow for all those EdTech tips and see what we're up to as a company. So it might be something that you're interested in for you yourself as a computing lead or a teacher in a school who wants some pupil workshops or support. And on that link as well, you'll see at the bottom all of the upcoming live webinars that we'll be running as well, if you want to come along to those, and some of the CPD available as well. So great to have you with us watching this video. My name is Paul. I'm the computing lead here at RoarTech. And what we do at RoarTech in the first instance is we are an IT services company. So we support schools across the West Midlands with their IT. But unlike other IT service companies, or unlike most of them, we do offer curriculum support as well. So like I said a minute ago, it might be that you want some pupil workshops in your school. Maybe you're a computing lead, you want some support in developing your curriculum. Maybe you want some staff training. As you can see on the screen there, there's lots of things we do around the curriculum of computing and EdTech tools across the wider curriculum as well. What I will do at the end of the session in this video is I'll put my email address up for you. Any questions you've got, just ping me an email and I'll get back to you. Right, in today's session, it's going to look at AI quiz generators, just part one, because there's so many out there. And if like me, when I was a teacher, I used to love using digital quizzes. And I'd sit in my PPA time and make these quizzes that I'd use for maybe start of a unit, to find out what children already know, or as an AFL tool to find out if children are making good progress, or to inform my planning, to go back and reteach something or cover something in more detail. But I always found I was spending a lot of time making these quizzes. And so what we're going to do today is look at how we can hopefully use AI to help speed along that process to either make the quiz for us or give us a good starting point so we can tweak it before we make it go live. I'm going to look at just three today. Like I say, there's so many. I mean, we will do it. We've got a short amount of time. So we'll look at some use of large language models to create the quiz for us. And then from there, how we can use that quiz we've made and upload it into Kahoot, which is a very hugely popular one, isn't it? A lot of my schools use Kahoot. And I'll quickly show you Wayground as well, which a lot of you will know is or was formerly as Quizizz. Let's start with LLMs then, large language models. And when we're using a large language model to create an output, it's always good to have really good instructions, which we call prompts, or like prompt engineering. On the screen are some popular ones, and I've kind of quoted where these kind of come from and maybe who kind of created them from their inception. And by using this, it's the old saying of the better the input, the better the output is going to be. And I can't remember who said it, but someone said you have to treat AI like working with an actor, and the actor has to be into a certain role and give them that role so that they can have that better output that we want to create. So you can see it within a lot of these prompt acronyms here. You can see that a lot of time we're asking the AI to undertake a role so it can be that qualified, experienced teacher, or it can be an experienced historian, or it can be an experienced scientist to help us produce what it is that we want, whether it's lesson plans, quizzes, rubric assessments, whatever, okay? So if we take, for example, this one on the screen right now, which is called Prep, which is a shortened version of the one we just saw a moment ago, which is prepared by Dan Fitzpatrick. It's a shortened version called Prep, and you can see we've got the prompt. So what do you want to create? The role, give it a role. Be explicit about what we want to include and set certain boundaries. So on the example below, we kind of match it up. The prompt is create a quiz about Roman gladiators. And the role is you are an experienced history teacher who specializes in Roman gladiators and creating engaging quizzes. Be explicit. I want to include questions on the content that we've been either teaching in the class or we're about to teach. So who gladiators were, what they wore, weapons they used, why they existed, types of games, and where they fought. And the boundaries are, I want it to just be 10 multiple choice questions with a reading age no greater than 9 years old, using UK English spelling, and show me the answers in bold. But you could change how you want the answers to be set out. Right. So let's go into a large language model, and let's go into ChatGPT. And here we are in just basic ChatGPT. I've got the plus version, as you can see at the bottom. What I'll do is I'll just grab that prompt that I've written here. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it straight into ChatGPT, and hopefully it will output a really nice quiz. So here we go. Yeah, it's not too bad. Who were gladiators in ancient Rome? See, fights about. Yeah, so it's looking pretty good. And as I go down, the only thing I notice is that, and this happens a lot, this is where it's not always perfect, and we've got to give further instructions about what we want. We can see that so far the answers are C, B, B, B. Oh, we've got an A, B, another A, another A. That's not too bad. Normally it's a lot worse than that. And it doesn't matter what model you use. If I show you before, I put the same thing in before, or kind of a smaller, lesser detailed prompt, you can see that again, we've got C, B, B, C, B, 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 C. So sometimes we have to say, a bit more instructions, distribute the answers across the range of A to D answers as well. So it's not always perfect, is what I'm getting at. We've got to go back and give it further instructions along the way. This quiz is fine. I could copy and paste that quiz and use that quiz to use in a digital quizzing platform. But what you might have spotted on the left-hand side is I've got this custom GPT written by Dan Fitzpatrick, which is called Better Prompts for Educators. And this just helps you as a teacher just to guide you to make sure that you've thought about all the different things that you need to include within your prompting. Because sometimes I always think if you go back to this prompt here, that's great. But a lot of time when we are in our PPA time, we're not thinking about what was that prompt again? What was that acronym for that correct set of instructions? It might just be that we're sitting there in our PPA time and we're like, right, I just need to create a multiple choice quiz on Roman gladiators for year 4. And that's maybe what we might use. We haven't got time to go and think about that whole prompt engineering that we've been looking at. So if I take that prompt for example and go to ChatGPT, and if I put it into Better Prompts for Educators, we're going to hopefully get some support in generating a better quiz. Now, how do you add this to your ChatGPT if you're using that? If you go to Explore at the top, you can search for GPTs that are already made there. So you can see there's Dan's there, the prompt that I'm using, or you can just Google search it. So you could Google search Better Prompts for Educators, ChatGPT by Dan Fitzpatrick, and then you can start using this as support for writing quizzes, lesson plans, you name it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into that custom GPT written by Dan Fitzpatrick. Here we go. And I'm going to use this now. So I'm going to pop in that simple prompt of create a multiple choice quiz on Roman gladiators for year 4. It's not very detailed, not using any kind of prompt engineering there. So as we go down, just reminds us, to always check the content that AI generates, which is really important. It's going down, it's starting to do that engineering acronym for us. So we've got the purpose, we've got the role, the explicit instructions. And this is where we can start to change things. So you can see it says, write 8 to 10 multiple questions. Each question should have 1 correct answer and 3 distractors. Starts to say include a mix of factual recall and broader understanding. I could change that if I don't want that. Accessible for 8 to 9 year olds. Short sentences, clear wording, no jargon. Ensure we've got historical accuracy. Provide an answer key and so forth. Presentation, numbered quiz, present options A to D, great. Friendly, encouraging tone, all sounds good. If I want to change anything, then I can just put into the instructions here and type something in and change something that I'm not happy with. So maybe I wanted to incorporate a certain set of vocabulary words that the children have been learning. Maybe I want to add those in, say include these vocabulary words in here. Maybe I want a set number of questions. This one says write 8 to 10. Maybe I want specifically 5 questions, 6 questions. So it just prompts me to say, yeah, let's just double check this is okay. If it was okay, if everything's fine, I can just say, yes, that's absolutely brilliant. Go ahead and create that for me. You've really thought about all the things that I was thinking about for this quiz for my year 4 class. So as we go down, you can see again, really good questions coming out that I can use this for a quiz, which is perfect. Let's have a quick look and see what does the answer key look like in terms of a good range. You see again, it's not perfect. There's not one single D in here. So I might have to type in a further instruction, something like distribute the answers across the range of A to D, just so it varies that a little bit more. So we can definitely use any large language model, whether it's ChatGPT, whether I'm sure a lot of you in school are using Google Gemini. I'm sure a lot of you are using Microsoft's Copilot within your Microsoft license. It doesn't really matter. It's all going to produce the same output for us in terms of what we want. But what I do like about ChatGPT is having this custom GPT by Dan, which just really helps in producing and making me think about all the content I need for the correct output, which I can go in and tweak if I need to as well, which is perfect. So we've managed to use a large language model there to now go ahead and create a quiz. But then what if I want to use that quiz that I've made and put it straight into Kahoot? So what I've got to do is I can't just import that quiz into Kahoot. It's just not going to happen. So what I've got to do is I've got to turn the quiz and give it another prompt, as you can see on the screen here underneath the quiz. And it says, output the quiz as a delimited text separated by tabs. That's just a kind of fancy way of saying, put it into rows and columns, because what Kahoot gives you is kind of a quiz template spreadsheet that we can import the questions and answers in and upload that spreadsheet to Kahoot so that we can then turn it into a quiz. So I carries on by saying the 6th column, as you'll see shortly what that column is, should contain the number 20. That's indicating the number of seconds the children are going to get to answer the question. The 7th column should be the answer from 1 to 4, because we've got A, B, C, or D. Don't include any question numbers and don't include any headings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that prompt there. I'm going to copy and paste this into my ChatGPT. So what I'll do, I'll go into here, and this is okay. I mean, this quiz looks okay. I'm just going to turn this into that delimited text now. Let's paste that in there. And while it's doing that, what we'll do, we'll head over to quiz, over to Kahoot. And here we are in Kahoot. So what I'm going to do to get to this spreadsheet that I need, because the spreadsheet isn't made by me, it's made by Kahoot themselves. So I'm going to go into create as normal, like I'm going to create a quiz. Go to Kahoot here. So I'm going to go into blank canvas. And to bring up that spreadsheet, I have to go to add first. And then rather than adding in a question, head on over to import on the right-hand side here. Again, it's trying to prompt me to try and use some of their premium features, but instead, I'm going to click on import spreadsheet, but I haven't got the spreadsheet yet, but I can get it from here. So you can see it says download our template. So I'm going to click on there and it's going to download that Kahoot quiz template for us. If we open that up, you can start to see those columns that we've got to work with. We've got the question first, the 4 different answers if we want 4 answers, the time limit. So if we don't want 20 seconds, we would change that value to 5, 10, 30, and so on. And then the number of at least what one right answer is. So I'm going to use this in a second. Let's go back now to ChatGPT, our large language model, and see if it's been able to convert that into what we need for that spreadsheet. It looks pretty good here. Let's see how we get on. I'm going to click on copy code here on the top right. I'm going to go to that spreadsheet I've just downloaded. I need to make sure I click on this cell here. So what is that? Kind of B9, because I want to override this anyway. I don't need this example. I want to override this and then import the whole quiz into this spreadsheet. So I'm going to right click on this one. I'm going to head up to paste special. I'm going to come down to paste special and then not paste that Unicode text that we've got, but click on text and click on OK and paste that in. So we can see we've got now the questions, the 4 possible answers. They look okay. We've always got to make sure the answers aren't too long. If it's too long, it won't import it into Kahoot because it's not going to fit. But also the kids and all the pupils in the classroom are going to spend too long reading the answers. So maybe when we produce that quiz on ChatGPT or a different LLM, we could say, keep the answers succinct and short because we're going to use this as a digital quiz. We've got the time in there, brilliant, 20 seconds, and then the number corresponding to what the correct answer is. So what I'll do now is I'll save this, and then let's go into Kahoot now, and let's select our file because we've saved that one now. Select our file, there it is, data quiz. Click on open, click on upload, and it says successful. So click on add questions. And now it's added all the questions and all the answers. It's chosen the right answer for me. It's chosen the seconds that I wanted. The only thing I've got to remember, and what you'll notice hopefully, is that it's got 11 questions, but there are only 10 questions. And that's because to access that option to upload the quiz, we had to jump to the next quiz option to add another question. So you can see I've got an exclamation mark here. There's no quiz question here. So all I've got to do is just make sure that I delete that first one. I've now got my quiz. I can give it a title, and I can save that to now use with my pupils within my year 4 class. Perfect, it's now ready to use. So I've now got that quiz ready to use for my year 4 class. Into the last one then, we're going to look at a tool that used to be called Quizizz, and now it's called Wayground. The first thing you've got to do is go ahead to the Wayground website and create an account. Then what might be useful is going to the Chrome Web Store, like I say here, and adding the Wayground extension tool. It's not the perfect tool, but it just gets me to access the Wayground website a little bit quicker and just reminds me that I can use that tool. So how do we do all this? So the first thing, the obvious one is to go to the website Wayground and just create your account. That's nice and easy. I'm probably already signed in. So click on this link here. It's going to log me in. Perfect. But to add the Chrome extension tool, which is here, you can see here on my Chrome, it's here. To do that, just search for on your Chrome web browser for the Chrome Web Store. And then when you get to the Chrome Web Store, just search for Wayground. There it is. And then add that. You can see mine's already installed, so it says remove. Add that to your Chrome extension toolbar. And then once you've done that, click on the extension tool and maybe just pin it to your custom bar here to use. So now that I've got that there, what I can do is start to upload some of the quizzes straight into Wayground, a little bit like we were doing with Kahoot. So what I could do is, now that I've got this quiz made here, I could add this quiz to a blank Word document and then just upload that Word document into my Wayground so I can use it as a quiz. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask the quiz to output the answers underneath each question, just so we can see it a bit more clearly. So I can just retweet this. Oh, it still wants to do it in a delimited tab. So I'm going to say remove the delimited version and output as text. Okay, perfect. Here we go. It's coming through. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait till that loads all the way through. And then I'm going to grab all of this text here for the quiz. To grab that, there we go. And then I've already got a Google Doc opened, ready to import this quiz into my Google Doc, into my Google Drive. And I'm just going to name this Gladiator quiz. Okay. Then if I didn't have Wayground open, I could just then within this document here, you can see it says create a quiz. I wouldn't worry about all of this anyway, because it's gonna run whatever's on the sheet anyway. So click on generate quiz, but it will load the platform. And you can see it takes me straight away to this section here. And I always find the easiest way to do this is click on import from drive. And then once your drive is selected, select the quiz that you've just created into your Google Doc, or you could search for it if you can't find it nice and easily. Click on select. And then from there, it will then generate a quiz that I can use in Wayground. If you haven't seen Wayground before, it's a fantastic tool. It's very similar to Kahoot. It's got some really nice features. If you want a video on how to use Wayground in the classroom, let me know in the comments below, and we can certainly sort out a future webinar, excuse me, on producing a video, an EdTech video on how to use Wayground. Perfect, there we go. So it's straight away, all I've done there is copied and pasted my quiz from ChatGPT into a Google Doc, and then gone to Wayground and said kind of import my quiz into using this now within the Wayground system. That looks great. It's named it for me. Click on publish, and then it's all good to go. Click on start now, and then I can run this quiz and let my pupils join in the classroom just in the same way that I would do so if I was using Kahoot. Right. Hope you enjoyed today's session. In the future, we've got 3 weeks left until half term. So up until half term, we're going to run a few more sessions and a few more videos. We're going to be looking at Google Notebook LM, how we might use that as teachers, leaders, and admin. We're going to look at AI quiz generators part 2, because there are other platforms that we can use. And then finally, we'll look at some of the AI tools that you might want to use in the classroom with the pupils to kind of explore and build on what you're probably starting to talk about with children, which is, what is AI, what is machine learning and all that, and using some examples in the classroom to embed that understanding. As I said before, here on the screen now is my email address. If you need anything or you want to get in touch to find out more about workshops in your school, support for your school, maybe delivering a workshop at a conference, if you're watching this as a company or who runs conferences, let me know, get in touch. We're happy to help. And just to say again, thank you for watching, and we will catch you next time. All the best.
Many thanks for watching today's EdTech video. I hope you found it very useful. As always, before you go, please like the video and then hit subscribe to see more content in the future. And we'll catch you next time. All the best. Goodbye.